So there's two paths to pharmacy school, and that is straight out of high school, or that is, going to college or getting your prerequisites somewhere and then transferring into pharmacy school. So this video is pretty much going to talk about the differences of that and what I think is best. Also, someone had asked about like my high school college experience and like my grades and stuff and like all that. So I'm going to talk about this process in this video. So I attended high school 4 years. I didn't graduate early. I didn't do any of that stuff. I'm just an average student. I graduated high school with I'm trying to remember. I think it was a 93 GPA, and I was really happy about that. So yeah, so how my grades were. I wish I can remember like freshman year. Freshman year, I took like the regular classes, like what is it, like algebra, history, or like what was it, global history. Um, I don't remember really, but I would say that like consistently throughout high school, I did remain in like the 80s and 90s in my classes, except for one of my classes. I think environmental science, like I was in like the 70s range. Um, and then when I started taking AP classes, that's when I saw more of like 70s, 80s, which should have been a great indication of what college classes were going to be like because, whoa. Um, so those kind of were how my grades were. I did take AP classes. I took AP US History and AP US History and AP English. I did do well enough on the AP US History that I was able to transfer that credit over into to my undergrad school, so I didn't have to take history when I was in undergrad, which was great. So I would recommend for those of you in high school, take AP classes, try to do as best as you can so that way you do not have to take those courses when you get to college. So if your school offers a lot of them, take it, do it. I encourage it 100% because it's a really great opportunity. The next thing that I will talk about is how many schools I applied to. That was another question. I don't even remember. I think I applied to a total of 5 schools and I got accepted into 3 of them. So that was like perfect because one of the schools that I really wanted to go to, I got accepted into, and that's where I went. So, yeah, I graduated with like a 92 or 93 GPA, and my SAT score I do not remember because I remember I did terribly on it and I did not use that to send to college. I took the ACT instead, and I don't even know what the scores were. In undergrad, I was a biology major, and for those of you who are thinking about pharmacy school, I would definitely recommend choosing a science major. Truthfully, it does not matter what science major you choose, but like I said in my last video, look at the prerequisites for the pharmacy schools that you want to apply to, and then pick a major where you take most of those classes anyway. But if you choose a major that doesn't necessarily have all those classes, college is a great place because you can still take those classes. But just make sure that it's not too overwhelming for your schedule. And that's why I chose biology, because I knew that if I wanted to go into any health field, I would have the classes already taken care of because of my major. So I know someone asked me, like, should you do like biochem or just chemistry or just bio or something? It doesn't matter. You could do biochem, you could do biology, you could do chemistry, whatever you want, but just make sure that you're taking those necessary courses to get into pharmacy school. So I repeat, it does not matter what you major in, just make sure you take the necessary prerequisites to get into the pharmacy school of your choice. So that's very important because they don't care about what you major in. They just want to see that you took those classes and that you did better than a C in them. That you did like a C or better, but like try to do better in those courses. So yeah. So in high school, I also volunteered at the hospital, like I said in my other video, and someone asked me, how did you get involved in volunteering and how did you do all of that? And my hospital that's in my hometown is great. They have like a whole volunteering program. So you literally go on the website, you like fill out a form. I think you fill out a form or you call them, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, come in for an interview." And then next thing I know, I was volunteering and I was working on like the nurse's floor, and I would like get water for the patients or like talk to the patients sometimes. It was cool. So that's how I got into volunteering. Just, check your local hospital's website or call them up and see if there's anything that you can do. And if they don't have a volunteering program, then be the one to try to get that started and initiated. And that looks even better on your resume or on your college application, because it's like, I was the one who started the volunteering program at my hospital. So that's like incredible. Why I recommend like going to college and then going to pharmacy school over like going straight into pharmacy school, this is totally up to you. For those of you who start right out of high school, that's great because you save yourself time, you save yourself like 2 years of school, you save yourself possibly some money, and just dealing with like having to not be in school for 8 years. So that's like some definite pros of starting right out of high school. But the reason why I didn't start right out of high school is because I didn't know what I wanted to do yet. At one point I wanted to be a physician, and then I was like, I don't want to do that anymore, and I wasn't sure. But it was great that I was at a 4-year school because I was able to figure out what I wanted to do, take different classes, have different experiences that I would not have been able to do in pharmacy school. What some people have told me is that students, ended up dropping out because they realized that pharmacy is not what they wanted to do, and they were in a 6-year program. So it was just like, oh man, like pharmacy is what you kind of have to do. So I would recommend going to 4-year school and then going to pharmacy school, only because I also feel like you get that great college experience. Being in pharmacy school now, I'm just like study, 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 and there's not much freedom to really go out and explore, find out about yourself, where I was able to do that in undergrad. I joined so many different groups, clubs, organizations, and I didn't join a lot, but I was really involved, and I really put a lot of effort into what I was involved in, and I had a great time. I was able to meet so many great people and really just enjoy that college experience. And not saying that you won't have that at a 6-year program, but it's not as likely because most pharmacy schools are a little small and you're not really able to have the time to go out and do all of that. Whereas in undergrad, you have a little more time. I'm not saying that you have all the time in the world. That's the reason why I would choose to go to a 4-year program, but then again, every person is different. Some people love their college experience at pharmacy school, their 6-year program, because that's all they know, and that's great. But for me, I really was able to get the full college experience, and now I'm in professional school, and I just need to get my degree and start working. So in deciding on whether you want to go to a 6-year program or you want to go to undergrad and then transfer into pharmacy school, it's up to you. But I would say that if you really want like that college experience, if you really just want to like go away and you want to just enjoy and just grow and learn about yourself, I'd recommend going the 4 years of school. And then, or I know some people went to community college for 2 years and then they ended up taking all the prerequisites and transferred into pharmacy school. So it doesn't necessarily have to be 4 years of college. Just get your prerequisites done. So you can even go to a 4-year institution, but if you take all your classes, then you're fine. You can apply to pharmacy school, get in, and start school. In terms of trying to figure out if you want to do 6-year or if you want to do 8 years like I'm doing with school, then you can definitely make that decision on your own. But I must say that I am so grateful for the college experience that I had, and now I'm able to, take all that I've learned and that I've grown from and bring that with me into pharmacy school. So if you have any questions about the differences with the 6-year and the 4-year, I can try to be of help to you. So yeah, I hope this video was helpful. If you have any other questions, please comment below. I love your questions, and I try to make videos about them instead of just commenting, because then other people ask the same question. I'm just like commenting again, and I'm just like, why don't I just make a video just explaining everything? So keep the questions coming. I love it. I love that I get to be of help to all of you. It is great. So please comment below, or you can email me at behismasterpiece@gmail.com. I hope this was helpful, and as always, be his masterpiece. Bye everyone.